The race for Shelby County Mayor is heating up with one of the first big endorsements of the cycle. The Shelby County Deputy Sheriff's Association announced its official endorsements. Now, the group endorsed Anthony Buckner for County Sheriff and J.B. Smiley Jr. for County Mayor. Buckner, Chief Deputy of the Sheriff's Department, is the second person to file paperwork for the sheriff's position. That's according to Shelby County Election Commission filings. Now, Memphis City Councilman J.B. Smiley is in his second term and ran for Tennessee governor in 2022. Now, at last check, 6 candidates currently running for the position of mayor. Shelby County Criminal Clerk Heidi Kuhn, former Commissioner J.W. Gibson. Then we have Shelby County CAO Harold Collins. And then followed by that, we have Commissioner Mikkel Lowry and Memphis Councilman J.B. Smiley Jr., as we already said. And then lastly, County Assessor Melvin Burgess. Now, the Shelby County primary election is scheduled for May 5th, 2026. So, Otis, I'm going to have you here. Now, I feel like the Buckner endorsement is kind of like, you know, we knew that was going to come. But Smiley is getting the law enforcement support. So how does that set him apart from his competitors?
Oh, I think it makes him very, very strong. I mean, matter of fact, there's another poll out there that we were talking about off the air that has him 16 points ahead of second place, who I think is Mikkel Lowry. So he's strong here. J.B. Smiley is. So this helps him. As far as Buckner is concerned, yeah, that was no surprise. But he's not the only one that's going to run for sheriff. There's about 5 other people in that who have said that they're going to run. And so we'll see where that goes. Plus, I still think Buckner has to answer for the conditions in the jail.
That is fair. Now, we have criminal court clerk Heidi Kuhn, and you would think that maybe law enforcement and criminal court would go hand in hand. Deidre, I want to ask you, how does that play into her hand?
Well, I think that, you know, Heidi is a strong campaigner. Her husband, Matt Kuhn, is a strong campaigner, so they're going to work really hard. I think they had to go with Deputy Chief Buckner because he's the deputy chief, right? And he's working with them and a part of their leadership team. But Heidi's going to work. She knows how to work.
All right. Now, Sam, endorsements this early. I mean, we still have a bit of time before anybody has to vote. I mean, does it really matter, or is it a big boost to see it now?
I mean, I think it's a boost. And I think, you know, in the case of Councilman Smiley, you can see that how over time he's been leading to this run. He's been laying the groundwork for a long time. Like, he's had a process. And you can see that happening right now. At the same time, elections in May, we're the ones talking about it. I don't think if you went to Kroger, if you went to Kroger right now and asked people, hey, when's the Shelby County mayoral primary? They're gonna look at you like, what's the price of milk? You know,
Right.
So I don't think it really matters that much. I think it matters for you building momentum going forward.
Yeah.
Always so blunt. Love that. All right, we're going to shift now to one of the leading, if not the leading candidate for Tennessee governor, Marsha Blackburn, who hasn't held a public town hall since 2017, but made a semi-public appearance at a roundtable in Memphis, but it was really like invite only. Here's her post from her Senator Marsha Blackburn Facebook page. She held a roundtable at Pure Academy to talk about juvenile crime solutions in Memphis. You can see Congressman David Kustoff and Senator Brent Taylor sitting next to her as well. Now, the focus was on the importance of after-school programs as a solution to prevent juvenile crime and invest in younger generations of Memphis. She introduced that bipartisan after-school act, which would start a grant program through the DOJ to give money to school districts and nonprofits for after-school programs. It was a pretty exclusive meeting now, or roundtable. Only certain media was invited. So, Sam, I'm going to ask you this, being a journalist, how do you feel about just the lack of access? No, should I have started with you?
So I'll answer and say, look, I believe everyone, when someone's running for office, like as principals, should be invited. Every outlet should be invited. Like, I'll start there. Like, I'm not arguing against this, but I also arguing for the lack of access. But I also don't think anyone cares but us. Like, I think like people, like they have real lives, and I think it matters to us as journalists. But I don't think. And in this age of social media, I think this is just proof that politicians feel they don't need the media anymore, right? They can curtail access. They have their own Facebook pages. They have their own followings. I think Marsha Blackburn had a podcast for a while. She may still have one, right? Like, they're reaching voters different ways. And so, like, I don't know.
Well, surface level, we're talking about a bipartisan support on juvenile crime and prevention methods that you would think anybody, obviously, bipartisan would be on board for. So, Deidre, why the secrecy?
I think it was a big mistake, quite frankly. I think she should have opened it up to all media. But I was telling Otis early on, what she did was masterful in terms of the people she had around the round table. it is an audience that normally wouldn't even look at her. You know, the nonprofit organizations that work with our youth, those leaders of those organizations are going to talk about how she's been supportive of them. And a lot of those families are going to go to the polls and say, well, she was supportive of the after-school program. I thought it was masterful.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I will say I looked at the Facebook comments under the post she made, and one person from Memphis said, you can do a private roundtable, but you can't have a town hall in Memphis. So,
I love it.
Otis, I want to ask you, what is this? No public town hall, but you can do this roundtable.
Well, because she is controlling the message here. And the fact that all media in Memphis should have said no thanks to this meeting. That's how I feel about it. And I'm looking at it from more of a journalism education kind of issue here. And all media, Commercial Appeal was there, I understand, and then another TV station was there. But they should have said no to this because she's running for public office. She has a duty to talk to the public. And while this meeting may have been fine, and she had a cross-section of people there, she's still controlling the message, and everybody there was kowtowing to her demands. And I don't think you, even though people, they reach their audience in another way these days, we as media should not allow that to happen and be a part of it. That's the way
I agree with that. Like, I'm not going to disagree with you there, Otis. Like,
Okay.
I mean, but are we as outlets going to have the strength to say, no, we don't want that exclusive interview because not everyone's getting it?
Well, but what did we get? What did we get by sitting in on it?
I'm not arguing that with great content.
After-school programs are not new. And they've been around forever. As a matter of fact, this administration cut after-school money earlier in the year. So, I mean, it wasn't like there was some big news that happened at this meeting itself. So I'm just saying, from a principle standpoint, just say, nah, no thanks, we'll check you later.
I will ask this, you know, she is the leading candidate, is that safe to say?
Oh, yeah, easily.
Whatever. Okay.
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 Is there a part of her that feels like she doesn't need to do public town halls? She can have this exclusive roundtable
Probably.
because she
Yeah.
she feels like she got it in the bag.
But and I think that's the job of journalists, though, to call her out on it, because all those issues that, you know, the community cares about, they need to figure out the best way to challenge her and ask her those questions and make her respond.
Okay. I
agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we ended that one then, if no one else has anything to say. Okay, well, that is a wrap.
Let's go back to basics.
And don't get it twisted, the red was clearly coincidental. We're not giving any endorsements tonight. All right, that's going to do it for ABC 24 this week. We hope that you'll join us next week for ABC 24 This Week.